As I mentioned in my review of Sin City, sometimes comic book movies try to stay very close to their source material, while other times changes are made. The changes can be major while still retaining the essence of the characters. Sometimes this works out, and other times it ends in disaster. Wanted is a rare sort of comic book adaptation where it's changed so much that it bears very little resemblance to the comic and really only uses the name of the book as well as a few character names, but invents its own plot. The plot of the comic had to do with a society of supervillains called the Fraternity. They had a war with all the superheroes in the past and won, and erased all the world's memories of superheroes and villains, and now operate in secret, committing crimes seemingly just for the sake of being evil. One of their member, known as the Killer, is killed, and his son Wesley, who grew up knowing nothing about this, is recruited. He becomes a supervillain trained under another called the Fox and crushes a rebellion from other chapters of the fraternity, and finds out that his father is alive and kills him, assuming his mantle as the Killer. Well, the movie couldn't be any more different. It uses the concept of the fraternity, but rather than supervillains, they are assassins. The fraternity was formed 1,000 years ago upon the discovery of a magical artifact called the Loom of Fate. The loom weaves kill orders into cloth using binary code. You're given the name and location of a target. The fraternity assassins believe they're doing the right thing, as the few times that a target has survived, they have gone on to cause a disaster. Wesley's father was a member, and after he is killed, Wesley is approached by the Fox, played by Angelina Jolie, to become a member. They goad him into joining by promising him revenge on Cross, who killed his father, and entice him by allowing him to leave his mundane office job by transferring $3 million into his bank account, an inheritance from his father. The leader of the fraternity is Sloane, played by Morgan Freeman. He shows Wesley how to tap into his mysterious powers, which are activated by stress, and allow him superhuman agility and reflexes to the point where he can shoot the wings off the back of a fly, and curving bullets. And when it comes time to actually start killing, Wesley is reluctant to execute people he has no connection to, only wanting to go after Cross. But Fox tells him about how her family was murdered by a man who the Loom had picked for assassination, but who was never killed. Wesley becomes a successful assassin, and after a chance meeting with Cross, which ends in a gunfight, he's shot with a bullet that is traceable, and they track Cross down. At the same time, Sloane reveals to Fox that Wesley has been picked by the Loom and orders her to kill him. Wesley is successful in killing Cross, but finds out that Cross was his real father and that his name had come up in the Loom. Wesley was sent after him, as Cross was considered too good, and his son was the only one who he would not kill. He escapes the Fox and is taken care of by an old man who just sort of pops up out of nowhere. The old man gives him the Deus Ex Machina he needs, a kill order from the Loom that names Sloane. He reveals that Sloane had been making up the names for quite a while and operating the fraternity as a kill-for-profit company, and that Wesley's father had found this out. Wesley attacks the fraternity rather successfully, but is in the end surrounded by a group of master assassins, including the Fox. He reveals the kill order for Sloane, who admits this, stating that each of the assassins' names had each come up. Fox, who believes in the code, curves a bullet in a circle, killing all of the assassins, including herself. Sloane gets away, but Wesley destroys the Loom, and therefore the fraternity. He seems to return to the dead-end job, but it's revealed to be a decoy who he uses to get the drop on Sloane, killing him. The movie is entertaining, but I have numerous issues with the plot. The 1,000-year-old magical loom seems to not all be that old, resembling the modern looms used in the textile mill that is a front for the fraternity, and really the whole magic loom idea just rubs me the wrong way. Never is the power behind the loom explained or even revealed, just that it is supposedly an instrument of fate. The assassins all unquestionably trust Sloane, who claims he's the only one who's able to interpret the loom, but he readily admits it's nothing more simple than a binary code, a concept which is only about 400 years old, by the way. The curving bullets thing may seem like a cool concept, but once again, it's not explained at all. In the training scenes, they simply tell Wesley to curve the bullet, and when he asks how, the answer is basically, just do it already. They claim it relies on instinct, but the source of these powers is never revealed. Is it genetic? Is it magic? Who the fuck knows? And once again, there's that old man who just appears out of nowhere at the end to give Wesley his the plot devices that he needs. Where did he come from, and where did he go? Who the hell is he? Well, the action scenes are fairly exciting, but the plot of the movie is just too idiotic for me to really enjoy it. There's also some sight gags that are really sophomoric, like Wesley hitting his best friend Barry, who had been sleeping with his girlfriend with a keyboard, and the loose keys in one of Barry's teeth perfectly coming together to spell out "fuck you." To me, the movie seems very influenced by Fight Club, especially in its narrative style, but it comes off like a cheap knockoff rather than something inspired. The acting power is also rather stilted, as Angelina Jolie seems to be in the make sure the check clears stage of her career, and Morgan Freeman seems visibly bored. I was bored myself both times viewing this film. Watching it for this review, I very nearly fell asleep halfway through. Knowing the plot, I had no real desire to watch it, which is the sure sign of a crap movie. It had absolutely no rewatchability factor. So I guess I watched it so you didn't have to. I was surprised to find that the movie generally got good reviews, with most critics saying that yes, it was stupid, but it was fun. But honestly, I've seen a lot of movies that were both stupid and fun, and this is not one of those. I could take the logical flaws in a thin plot in an action movie that was presenting itself as nothing more glorious than a fun action movie, but Wanted presents itself with ideas like looms of fate and curving bullets, taking itself way too seriously for me to bother. I give it a 4 out of a possible 10, and 2 of those points are for Angelina Jolie's butt cheeks.